In a fierce and impassioned plea that has sent shockwaves through the political establishment, Charlemagne, a prominent voice in the Lincoln Project, is calling on Donald Trump to leave the Constitution alone. In a new ad that blends fiery rhetoric with chilling warnings, Charlemagne argues that Trump's repeated attempts to undermine the nation's founding document are not only unprecedented, but a direct threat to American democracy. The message is clear: America's very future hangs in the balance, and Trump's actions could forever alter the course of history. Charlemagne's warning is not an idle one. He points directly to Trump's history of challenging constitutional norms, from his attempts to disrupt the 2020 election results to his persistent disregard for the checks and balances that have defined American governance. As the ad's message grows louder, it becomes impossible to ignore the dangerous trajectory the country is on. Trump, once a powerful figure in the Republican Party, is now seen by many as a consequential figure pushing the limits of democracy itself. Critics argue that his vision for America threatens to erode the very institutions that have held the nation together for centuries. A betrayal of the highest order. In this latest ad, Charlemagne's words are nothing short of a direct confrontation with the former president. He calls Trump's actions a betrayal, a violation of the sacred trust placed in him by the American people. The ad frames Trump's behavior as not merely a political misstep, but an existential threat to the principles that have long upheld the country's democracy. Just as Brexit represented an ideological and political rupture for the United Kingdom, Trump's disregard for the Constitution marks a similar rupture for America, one that could have devastating consequences for the future of the nation. The video's rhetoric is powerful and deliberate, urging viewers to consider the long-term implications of allowing Trump to continue down this path. Charlemagne warns that if Trump is allowed to act without consequence, it will set a precedent for future leaders to disregard the Constitution at will. This could spell the end of constitutional checks and balances, a shift that could reshape the nation forever. In a nation already grappling with deep political divisions, allowing such a disregard for foundational laws could lead to a new era of instability. A nation at a crossroads. This moment in American politics is more than just another partisan disagreement. It is a fundamental question of the nation's future. Charlemagne's plea is not just about Trump, it is about whether America can maintain its democratic integrity. The ad's warning is loud and clear: if Trump is allowed to continue eroding constitutional protections, it will open the floodgates for others to follow suit. This isn't just about a partisan fight, this is a struggle for the soul of the nation. Critics of the ad argue that Charlemagne and the Lincoln Project are merely trying to stoke division. Some claim that this is yet another attack on Trump by the political establishment. However, those who see the bigger picture recognize that Charlemagne is calling for something more: a return to the rule of law and a preservation of the democratic principles that have served as the foundation of America for centuries. Just as Brexit tested the United Kingdom's resolve to remain unified, this moment in U.S. politics is testing whether America can continue as a republic that holds its leaders accountable. The constitutional crisis we never wanted. Analysts warn that this is not just a passing political squabble, it is the beginning of a constitutional crisis. If Trump's attempts to upend constitutional norms continue unchecked, the very fabric of American democracy could be unraveled. For many, the stakes could not be higher. This is a fight for the survival of the republic. The country stands at a crossroads, with Trump's political future and his disregard for the Constitution at the heart of the debate. Many fear that if Trump's actions are allowed to persist, the precedent it sets will embolden future leaders to discard the Constitution in favor of personal power. Critics argue that this is a dangerous path that could lead to the downfall of democratic institutions and the rise of authoritarianism. If left unchecked, the long-term consequences could be dire, not just for America, but for the world at large. A call to action. This is not just a political advertisement, it's a call to arms for all Americans who still believe in the sanctity of the Constitution. Charlemagne's message is one of urgency: leave the Constitution alone. The ad encourages viewers to recognize that this is no ordinary election, it's a defining moment for the future of the nation. Whether you stand with Trump or against him, one thing is clear: the very foundations of American democracy are under attack. Now is the time for action. Like, subscribe, and join the growing movement to protect the Constitution and demand accountability. This fight is not just for the political future of one man, it's for the future of the United States. If we allow this moment to pass without action, we may be handing over the future of our democracy to those who would seek to dismantle it. The time to act is now. Will you stand for the Constitution, or will you let this moment slip away?